How's it going, YouTube? My name's John. Today I'm here to do a review on the Afterglow PDB Xbox One controller. It's been really good so far. Basically, it has all these lights to make it look extra pretty while you're playing it. Gives you a little extra fun. Plus, when it's dark, it works when you can't find your controller. Makes it a little easier to find it. Basically, the light features, what you can do is there's a button right back here. What you do is you press that button and this light will turn blue, and basically your right stick is going to control your color, so you can move that in any direction and it will change them, and your left stick is basically going to control the brightness. So you can make it a little dimmer if you don't want it too bright. You can make it super bright if you want it bright. Now the cool thing that I've noticed was kind of hard to figure out, even though it's super simple to do. Basically all you got to do is, while the blue light is on, press up on the D-pad, and that will make it to where it just constantly changes colors. That's how I like to play with it. Not sure why. It's just a little more enjoyable that way for myself. The one cool thing I really like about this controller, it's kind of like the Elite controller in the sense that you can remap some buttons in the back, which is really awesome if you're playing first-person shooters. You can basically reload without ever having to move your thumb off the sticks. You could basically do anything. You can map up to 6 buttons right here on the back. It has these little scrollers here that go down, up, and in. Both sides has the same function, so you get up to 6 buttons to map on here. So basically, in order to map it, that same button to change the lights, you're going to press it, it's blue. Press it one more time, and it's green. So what you're going to do now is, whichever you want to basically map on it, say you want to map the left side down, you hit it once, and then it will start blinking. And then you press basically whatever button you want to map it to. I usually map my left one down to A, and then I would map up to X, and then on the opposite side down to B, up to Y. So it's kind of like the same format in the sense. It makes it so much easier when you're playing almost any game. Of course, when you're playing your first-person shooters, it's just so much easier because you're having to use your right thumbstick a lot to look around, basically, and it's just so much easier. I'm not even good at first-person shooters, but once I got this controller, I was demolishing people. It was pretty amazing. I never demolished people in that game, and I was getting 4th place. I know that's not much, especially like a lot of you, because I know you guys are like amazing at that game, but I'm horrible at that game, and that made that game a little better for me. So basically, another cool feature, if you tap it 3 times, it's going to turn yellow, and that's going to control your rumble. Press up to turn the rumble on, down to turn the rumble off. So it's really quick, really easy if you don't want the rumble on, but of course I like to play with the rumble because it's just, I've been doing that since Nintendo 64. Of course now you don't have those big packs like you did on the Nintendo 64 that, connected to the controller, made the controller about 20 times heavier, but it was still fun and new at that time. So you have another little button right here that's basically going to control your volume. So if you hold it down and you press up on the D-pad, then you're going to control the volume. If you press down on the D-pad, it's going to lower the volume, obviously. And you can hold it, press right on the D-pad, that's going to control the volume for, your voice chat. And if you press left on the D-pad, that's going to control the game volume that's coming out of the speakers, which is pretty awesome. You don't have to go through any menus, nothing. It's all right here on the controller. Just do it, you're good to go. The downfall to this controller, it is wired. It comes with about a 10-foot cable. For me, my TV is less than that, so it's like distance-wise, it's less than that. So it doesn't affect me at all. But if you want wireless, then obviously this controller might not be for you. But at the same time, with all these lights and all these programmable buttons and everything, it's basically going to save you money on batteries, because if you use batteries on this controller, it wouldn't even last at all. Excuse me. And the triggers feel great. The buttons feel great. Little more push on the buttons, so you do have to push a little further down, but it's really it's not even that big of a deal, unless you're really, really crazy about how far the buttons have to be pushed down, because it's really, you don't even really feel a difference. That's pretty much it with this controller. I would highly recommend it. Xbox One controller for $49.99. It beats, especially if you want these programmable buttons on the back, which is amazing. I was kind of skeptical on them, because I thought, these little wheels, it's a little weird. It's kind of like a mouse scroller, if you could put it that way. But once I started using them, I realized that they're pretty amazing. I don't even like going back to my regular Xbox controller, because it weighs about 5 times more, and I don't have these buttons on here, and I'm not going to be good at Call of Duty without this controller. Like I said, it's good for any game. I play Dead Rising with this thing. Elder Scrolls, all of it, and I can tell that I'm moving faster than most people that are using a normal controller. Yeah, that's my review. I think it's a great controller. If you're looking for wireless, just don't even worry about this controller. If you don't mind having wired, you don't mind saving $10 off of like a normal Xbox controller, I think this is the way to go. This is a great controller. I've had no problems with it. It's very responsive, and I would recommend it to anybody. I would even buy another one for when my daughter and I are playing. She likes to use it because of the colors. But, another thing too, before I forget, it has just a regular headphone jack, so you don't need the adapter. But at the same time, it doesn't have a place to put the adapter, so if you do use adapters, then this controller would not be for you. But if you have a regular headset, then you're fine. So yeah, that's my review on the Afterglow Xbox One controller. If you have any more products that you want me to review, or if you have any questions or anything, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you guys soon. Take it sleazy.